blood is all over the view screen, and the view screen goes black, and you hear a body slump to the floor.
Goblina is really gathered together a toxic concoction of things. Some starship fuel, ball bearings for shrapnel,
Make sure to put
acid
magnets
vials,
on it.
some of her grenades, and the secret ingredient, the septic tank from underneath Nick's old room.
You forgot the most important ingredient. Toenails.
Which, as the septic tank, contains multiple toenail clippings.
I want those drow to sweat toenails like Tybar did.
You're gonna have to make a con check coming into contact with this tank.
Benny would be so proud.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a 15, otherwise be ill.
15?
Yeah, there you go.
You just managed to hold your lunch down.
She looks a little greener than usual.
I think I got the stuff to.
I need to take a break. This smells too bad.
She was gonna take her holy scripture book that she made herself, like with crayons and stuff.
Yeah.
And after tying everything together, she tosses that in there and says, "Well, I don't need this anymore."
Oh.
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 Are you gonna become an oathbreaker?
I
All right.
think so.
Would you like me to roll for the bomb creation?
Yes, please.
Alrighty. And I think I will use a reroll token because I want this to work much better. 24.
It certainly, with the stuff from the septic tank, is going to make a problems for their viewing screen. Only one person would dare give me the raspberry.
Lone Star!
So
That's
now,
a pretty bad raspberry.
all right, so now it is the helms check.
So I need to do the...
Yeah, you're gonna have to
Tokyo
Tokyo
drift.
drift. Yeah, you're gonna have to
Tokyo
hit
drift.
the e-brake, right, and break the rear tires loose.
Okay, so we...
Slide sideways.
Does our turning...
You've got to turn your foot to the side. You've got to turn your foot to the side because you have to engage the clutch and the brake at the same time.
We have to roll first to see who goes first. And then I'll have to roll the save.
I have a 22.
31.
They are now within 10 squares, but their
Okay.
engines are practically critical.
Okay. So I need to roll to do the Tokyo Drift maneuver. The two stunts, there's two options. There's a DC of 30 for some of them and a DC of 35.
Do whichever one has the greatest chance of failure. That will help.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay.
My team.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Thank
Cool.
you.
Uh-huh.
You have that one dice that usually fails too, if you could use it. And well, 39 sounds like it's going to be enough to pull off this maneuver. I bet it says somewhere in the piling what you have to do.
Yeah, so the two DCs, I did the math for them, and it's a 30 or 35.
Okay, which one are you trying to do?
I don't know which one it would be because Tokyo Drift isn't on the list.
There's turn in place. Just do turn in place.
Okay.
You slide the Invictus sideways, and I have to add sound effect to tires. Just going. Yeah. As you pull up the air brake on the center console lever, and you pop the clutch and just.
And in space, you can see the tire marks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except
did this so
they're
well.
like Back to the Future. They're like flaming tire marks.
Yeah, these two flaming landing gear marks.
There's streaks in the stars.
Yeah, you do that. Goblina, roll me an engineering check. You're trying to override the emergency systems. Vicky can also help with that. You get a +3.
Okay, so that brings her up to a 16.
That should be enough because you're just overriding a door control. And Vicky's not trying to stop you either.
Right.
So you're more there because there's Vicky who controls things, but there's also automatic functions.
Yeah.
Like when you put your hand under the sink and the water comes on, Vicky's not doing it. There's a little thing that turns on the water from the sensor, even though she could turn on the water if she wanted to. So anyways, so you're overriding those algorithms. The door opens.
The Nick bomb.
Oh, it's my cool barrels.
You painted those. Wow, it's almost bigger than the ship.
This ginormous pile of barrels.
We're just Pym particling it.
Yeah, you pinpoint. Yeah, you're like, we had more stuff in the ship than outside. We're gonna have to start calling it the TARDIS or something here. So, anyways,
It's explodier on the inside.
Explodier. They were too. They had that giant missile. Like,
Now, if possible, I'd like to try and trigger it when it's behind them so that it hits their rear shields. And then she goes, right at the right moment, she goes, this is for Tybar.
Aw.
so what happened is you let that go and it explodes, and the pilot was right on the mark, and with the explosive decompression, it was heading right towards the nose of their ship. But their pilot, all he had to do was just ever so slightly turn so it missed them. So they're thinking they did a good thing, right? And then as it slips past the ship, and then they straighten the ship back out, Goblina sets it off and it explodes, hitting their aft section and their shields perfectly. Much like the Titanic was supposed to have turned and hit the iceberg and it scraped along the side. It would have, if this just hit it straight on, it would have damaged one section, because I think it had 5 compartments.
Right.
It would have never sank.
Yep.
But it ripped, I think.
through 3.
Yeah, through 3 or so of the sections, and it could survive, I think, 2 being punctured. The third one was too much. It's similar to that. It would have been better if the pilot didn't move, but the pilot did. So the explosion goes off. Roll me 10d6.
All the D6. Roll the D6. Roll the D6.
Not the ones in Abby's bag. We'll be here.
I was trying to make it the song, but it didn't. I'm so glad I made a reference that Carrie giggled at. Yay! I have some more D6 if you want some more.
39. I'm just imagining toenails ripping through the hull and bulkhead, going right through a crewman's skull and then heading out again.
In one ear, out the other.
Oh my gosh.
What did you say the damage was again?
39.
If I get on my little percentile dice 10 or 20, their ship survives and just take the damage that I record. On anything else, you've made their engines and power core go critical.
Come on, Gary.
No, I'm just kidding. You totally made it.
So I'm imagining it's got the Star Trek reactor core, right? And just the toenail just hits the little coolant pipe. It sprays out, and the engineers are like, we're losing coolant. And they're trying to clamp it down. One of them trips on the toenail, hits his head on the thing, cracks it, and then the whole thing just goes critical.
Tripped on a toenail.
It's a big toenail.
It was a toenail from one of those creepy creatures we fought on my evil mom's planet. It was one of those toenails.
There are giant creatures who have very large toes.
It's true.
You slide the ship sideways. The improvised explosive goes out. The pilot makes some mistakes, turns, it goes right behind the ship. The explosive goes off at the perfect time in the perfect location. The ship's shields go down. The engines cease firing, and at least one of the power cores has shut down. Now, there's a chance they can do some sort of repair or something like that and get up and running again. So you could potentially try to finish them off, but you risk losing Benny, or you risk them being able to do some sort of repair and then resume the chase.
What do you think, Captain?
I think they were struggling to keep up with this in the first place.
Yeah.
So I say we,
Capitalize.
yeah, and just go after Benny some more. Even if they can repair, they're probably not going to be able to catch
We'll
up
be
with us.
gone by then. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. Hopefully. There's other drow ship in the area. That's the only problem.
Gary, can I do a bit?
Wait, he has to press the button.
I even tried to say it the way from the soundbite.
My little button doesn't work saying can I do a bit?
Oh, that's okay. I'll give you a new bite. Gary, can I do a bit?
Yes.
As the ship turns back and you see the fiery plumes of the crippled vessel, you guys catch Goblina in the monitors looking pressed up against the glass, the explosions kind of reflecting in her eyes, and she just keeps saying to herself, justice.
Our ship therapist needs a therapist?
I don't think we have a moral compass anymore, guys.
And then a really, really sharp-toothed grin that you've never seen her do before.
Oh, wow.
She's a little unhinged.
Do we have Maisie 2.0 on the ship right now?
Vicky gets on with the rest of the crew. Just so you know, Goblina's acting weirder than normal. Pam started to undress Vidrion, and I had to spray her with the fire suppression system. I now have her locked in a closet. Scanners are detecting other ships closing on our location.
They found us.
We are now beyond the point where we can turn back safely to the Absalon station.
All right, I would like to do my first made action and maximize our speed again.
Pam, can you try to contact Enzo again? Maybe he'll listen to you.
Well, can someone let me out of the closet?
Yes. Goblina, can you go rescue Pam?
Yes.
Why do we have comms in the closets?
She has a comm in her spacesuit helmet.
I just think it's funny.
Coat, raincoat, comm button.
I just thought that was funny.
You got to keep in communication on a spaceship, really.
Goblina will go over and let her out of the closet.
She comes out of the closet, and she seems very flustered and aggravated. And then she goes over to the main comm, all indignant. Listen, Enzo, this is Pam. Please let my husband go. Ex-husband, you know what I mean. It's, you know me. I spent time with you and your wife. We've had barbecues and dinners together, and you're the only one of Benny's family that I've ever met, and that's got to be a reason. For some reason, he cares about you. And listen, we're not going to turn back, and these drow ships, they're just going to keep coming. If you don't help us, they're probably going to destroy us. And I know family's important to you. Benny might have divorced me, but I was still part of the family. I know you think of me like that. So you have to decide, are you going to watch me die because we're not turning back, or are you going to help us? I know that's going to get you into some hot water, but you'll let me die, your nephew will die. Just how much blood can be on your conscience? That's what she says. Engineering phase, and you said you're increasing your speed?
Yes. And then this is for bubblegum, right?
Yes.
Okay. He is going to divert power to the engines.
To say
Why
how much
are you my boyfriend now? This is weird.
Because I've already seduced your husband.
Now you must.
You're
seduce
next.
Me. You tried to seduce Screech, remember?
So you're now moving at a 16. So the Invictus is hauling. It looks like the ship that is off to your starboard side is going to have a hard time getting you. They're probably going to be able to get maybe one shot off before you're out of range, but the one in front of you is more on a collision course.
Okay, if they're in front of us, I'm going to demand the gunnery fire, which then gives a +4 to your checks.
Ashtar, they came in close. We haven't taken our turn yet. Are we fast enough that you could go over them and we could shoot them in the butt?
I mean, I can't see. I can only see you on the big camera, but yeah.
Because with our turret, if we just leapfrog over them, and then we'll let Tybar have a lot of fun.
I'm Tyrone, thank you very much.
Oh.
That makes me sad.
It makes me sad too. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, so you're just going to try to fly sort of like over them and then sort of like flip forward or just you're going to shoot them because your main guns are in the front, correct?
Right.
Heavy weapons?
Yeah.
So are you going to try to
Yeah, I like.
you
Yeah, do that.
fly
do a
over
flip.
them and flip backwards so you're facing that? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a flip and burn thing.
Yeah.
I rolled to do that. And I need my reroll token back.
You got a 1?
I got a 1.
You got a nat 1 in front of the audience.
I did, in front of everybody.
front of you
You
two.
get a reroll for nat 1.
I do get a reroll token. That's why I said I need my reroll token back.
Look,
I was trying
everyone,
to see the
if we can
positive.
get 20 gifted subs, she gets a reroll token, okay? 20 gifted subs for a reroll token.
We're not live streaming.
They're beautifully painted.
Gosh.
I've been watching too much Twitch.
So you roll a 1, that causes you to turn the same direction that the pilot was going to turn, because the pilot was going to do a chicken maneuver and then go just move past you, and so sort of do like a broadside on the way past you. But you guys moved up and hit each other, so he wasn't planning on ramming you. But now you're hitting dead on.
How do you even calculate damage for that?
Vicky, I'm sorry.
We're making a grapple check.
Number 1. Number 1, ramming speed.
Why are you going Red October?
I know. I do a better Sean Connery than
You
a
do a-
Patrick Stewart,
you
so
do
I'm
a
just going
great
to do the
Sean
Sean
Connery.
Connery.
It was a good job.
Besides, she wouldn't know the difference.
I know.
I feel taken out by that. Just
There are things on this starship that will react well to bullets.
So here we go. As the ship rumbles and there's cracking sounds and twisting sounds, Vicky gives a damage report that is sort of replace the commas and the period in the damage report with we have hull breaches and tears, powers out on the we're just basically
Good job, Ash. Good job.
and Pam is coming on to me.
Pam is coming on to me.
You know, we shouldn't be hard on her. Like, Goblina only has like a +5 to engineering. She managed to cobble together a bomb and override the door. She has what? +20, +30? We can't expect excellence out of that. It's just unfair. That's an unfair
So
standard.
technically I rolled a 21, but it was a 1, so like
What I'm saying is, we understand
such is
why
life.
we can't count on you.
Somebody had to take
The only thing you're really good at.
You're the new Vidrion.
I was just gonna say somebody has to take the intern spot while he's unconscious, so figured I'd do it.
Your forward shields are completely gone, and now I'm going to roll for some structural damage.
I'm sorry, Vicky.
It's a good thing she's self-healing.
Yeah.
Hey, the other ship might get taken out too. Who knows?
You know what? Not all pilots are perfect all the time. We need to realize that we're all human.
There are good pilots, and there are bad pilots, and there are old pilots, but there are no old bad pilots.
I thought you were gonna say they're good pilots and they're bad pilots, and then there's Ash.
Take 65 points of damage.
Ow.
Ow.
We've got 190. We'll be okay.
Now we don't have 190.
So now your maneuvering and things like that, all the ship systems functions are down. So your +3 for, that Vicky adds to everything is not there because sensors and connections and everything are down. Panels have fallen out of the ceilings, wires are hanging out, things are arcing. Bubblegum has set to work. He's immediately cursing like the father on Christmas Story. The rash banging, just like you've heard Benny do before, but in this particular case, it's a much lower voice. Rag flag banging, gosh dang banging.
Raz are frozen, damn it.
Oh, who put the stupid gum? That's the music as he's running around trying to put all the things back together.
Cursing the entire time.
I'm going to try and turn this to our advantage. With your permission, Captain, Goblina wants to go on the comm and bluff them and tell them that we did this on purpose.
Okay.
So Goblina grabs the comm and she goes, yeah, and she says to the ship we just ran, like, do you see that? That's just a taste of what happens to the people who come after us. You think that we're not afraid to die? Bring it on! And basically she's just gonna let all of her fury over the death of her boyfriend come out in her voice.
I don't think it's a bluff, guys.
And she rolls 27.
Ash is just bawling. She is so embarrassed right now that she screwed up.
No, it's okay. We're turning this into our advantage. We're gonna make them think that we're crazy. If you've ever fought a crazy person, it makes you pause.
I think they think we're crazy. No, in fact, I know they think we're crazy.
So, Vicky comes on. We've lost most of our forward momentum. We're going to have to regain speed. The other ships are closing on us now. We only weighed slightly more than the ship that hit us, so we have about 10% of our forward momentum. The other ship is disabled. We fared better in this particular collision, but with no forward shields and structural damage, the other two ships we're no longer a match for.
Ash is having a panic attack, so that doesn't help either.
Can I modify my bluff to say I broadcasted to all of the pursuing ships, not just the one we hit?
If you have a fate point.
Yeah. Here you go. You have a blue one.
If you have 2 fate point. I mean, no, sorry. Three? No.
Had me at
I'm
hello.
kidding. I'm kidding.
You had me at hello.
So the other ships stop and they're scanning you, which is going to delay them from firing on you this round.
Ooh, we made him pause.
Because of weapon pause. So I'm going to give it that you gave them pause.
Okay, I'll take
right?
it.
That's still something, right? Engineering phase. So now roll to see if you can have bubblegum start to restore systems.
Okay. So he gets a plus 20, so that's a 28 is what he rolls.
He tells you, I can't repair the shields or get many of the systems up, but I can give you maneuverability back. And you hear him just, you hear something get thrown and something else scrape and get put in position. There's a bunch of sparking and arcing and lights flicker, and all of a sudden your navigation panel lights back up with a big crack across it. And you have a bloody forehead where you slammed forward and hit your head on the dash. And it's more for effect than damage. And he goes, part of the problem is our inertial dampeners are malfunctioning, so it's going to be interesting if you pull maneuvers.
Our weapons are glitching, guys.
I believe glitching is a -2, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
You can confirm that. And we'll move on from there. So that's helm. So what are you doing?
So we have basically 3 options. We can either try to keep going with our bluff and turn towards another one and go to ram them to see if we can actually chase them off, or we can just go forward as fast as we can, because we have no frontal shields, but we still have our rear shields. So if we go fast enough, we can put them back on our stern, which means behind. Or a third option would have been weapons, but our weapons are glitchy. So I think we should just shoot between them go as fast as we possibly can. That's my recommendation.
What do you guys think? Yeah?
Well, roll piloting and see how the maneuvers
Who's
will go.
faster? Yeah, so for piloting, I got a 24.
I got less than that.
Okay. So you move first.
So yeah, go first. So they're turning to the side, getting ready to give you a broadside, and also making it so you'd have to sort of go around them. I mean, there's still an up and over.
Or down and under.
Or down and under.
We're not going to Australia, though.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
It's our only option if we want to keep following Enzo. And at this point, it's too late to turn back or do anything else, so...
Vicky's already told us we can't fight them and win. So it either has to be a psychological victory or we need to run.
Well, in the drow, psychologically, like, messing with them, they are not going to care.
Yeah, I made him pause.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best we got, so...
This time, roll higher than a 1.
I don't have to roll for this. They spend a resolve point to make us go. Our speed is now 18.
Gary, as we pass them, Goblina presses up against the glass and she starts licking it like Stitch inside his little glass tube. Yeah.
Smint that crazy.
Nika Malaquista. I didn't teach him that.
Oh!
Benny's ship, or Enzo's ship, I should say, is starting to fall back. They've cut the engines and they are turning around.
Yay.
Your ship is being scanned and they are arming their weapons.
Enzo ship?
Oh,
To hit us?
I didn't say that. I said they're scanning your ship and they're arming weapons.
So is it a mimic or not?
That would be a terrifying mimic.
a starship mimic.
Oh,
All right. So,
We're having a bad day.
is the gunner doing anything?
They're glitchy.
You had a bad day.
any thoughts?
I don't think we have use of a gunner right now. Because is there anything you can do that's not gun related?
The only thing I can do is I will spend a fate point, or not a fate point, excuse me, a resolve point to improve our countermeasures.
Okay.
Okay.
So that way they have to roll twice and take the lower.
So, what are you doing during engineering phase?
Can we fix stuff?
Yes.
Do you want me to help?
Yeah.
Bubblegum's in the forward compartment working on it. Every once in a while, he's, yells out for, my wrench was right there. Where'd it go? And then, it's up on top of something. He moves and it falls down, hits him on the head. Ow!
No, that's not it. Bring me the hydro spanner.
Oh, what we really need right now is a science officer. What phase can a science officer?
I think the science officer
go-
can go,
They go.
In the helm.
Yeah.
which is coming up next.
Yeah.
And they act before or after the pilot.
Yeah, we need balancing of the shields.
I can do that.
Okay.
So we're done with engineering. Are we doing anything
Yeah,
else?
we're done with engineering.
Helm phase.
So do you want me to go before?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're balancing the shield, which is 10 plus 1.5 our starship tier.
Yeah, so 15. So
15?
25.
I did it.
Yay. Yeah, I would be a really good science officer if I wasn't captain.
All right, so the ship's got a 32 and a 22.
For flying,
Yeah, for
I
flying.
got a 27, so I'm right in the middle.
Vicky gets on. It looks like they're getting ready to engage a tractor beam.
I guess I would try and evade so that they'll get a negative. No, we get a +2
Okay, so
against their tractor beam, so I'll roll for that. 33. I had to make a 30. So I got it. So we get a +2 against their tractor beam.
they're not able to get a tractor beam lock.
Sweet.
Okay. Enzo's ship comes alongside the other ship that was about ready to give a broadside, and you hear a voice come on. Drow ships. This craft is owned by the Perazzoli family. I am Enzo Perazzoli. This ship is under our protection. If you fire upon us, you are committing an act of war against the Perazzoli family. Are you willing to accept that at this time? If so, fire away, and we will defend ourselves, and then your nation, your people, will be hunted everywhere. Everywhere. We have people, just so you know.
That was effective, Gary. Even I was intimidated.
Yeah, seriously.
After a long pause, the ships back away and start falling off into the distance. So you're traveling along with Enzo's ship for a little bit. And then the screen comes on. Pam comes to the cockpit, and she tries to get on comm. Enzo, thank you so much. I knew you wouldn't let me die. And he gets on. The screen comes on, and Benny's on his knees, his hands down, and Enzo has a gun in his hand.
Ooh.
And he goes, "Look away, Pam." Enzo, what are you doing? Freaking look away, Pam. Enzo, no. I'll do whatever you want. Please, you can. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I love him. Please, no. The family feels for you all, and he just. And I talked to them, and they're gonna let you go. They're gonna let you walk away, but they know they're gonna keep pursuing you as long as Benny here is alive. I'm sorry. Blood is all over the view screen, and the view screen goes black, and you hear a body slump to the floor. And that's where we end for tonight.
You're sleeping in the guest room tonight.
There is more to this story.
Good Lord, didn't anybody here subscribe? Thank you.